Hello, good evening, everybody. Anybody there? Hello. It's so good to see so many familiar names. Hello, Mren. All right. So I hope everybody is staying home and is safe and enjoying some good poetry. Well, I'm Saima Afreen and I live and work in Hyderabad, and I'm a poet and journalist, and it's an honor to be part of this live reading session. Am I audible enough? Can everybody hear me? Thank you, Shazia. Your tips really worked. So am I audible enough? Just give me a second, I'll be back. Alright, so I've switched off the fan and now I'll begin. So yes, here is some poetry by me and by a lot of other poets from across the world, and I'll be reading a few in Hindustani also. So let me begin the evening with a poem of mine, which is part of my book Sin of Semantics, and the title of the poem is The Ocean Never Returns Our Names. I was in Maldives and had gone there to review a resort, and being a poet, of course, you sit on the beach and play with the waves, and then the poems keep coming to you and you start scribbling, you go back home and then you put it in your diary, and later it's formed as the poem. So here it is. The ocean never returns our names. I wrote our names in cursive, curly, nastaliq, clinging to each other tightly, infinitely, kissing shells, anemones, tips of coral reefs, stories the ships and starfish bring to the shores. The ocean polishes the corners of our names, gently strokes the forests within the velvet of letters, where metaphors rain, mingling with the green waters, bleaching our hearts of pain of erased histories. Waves bow, holding the letters on foreheads. Sail back, rise, add our names to the treasure that history forgets. We glisten under stars that lurk above waters, waiting forever for Layla to return Majnu his original name. Hello Ashwini, so good to see you. Looks like a lot of people missed on this poem. Shall I read it again? Okay, a lot of friends are joining, so I think I'm going to read this again. And because I'm seeing a couple of names and that they're still joining. Hello Mainka. Hello, Bina. Alright, I'll read it again. The ocean never returns our names. I wrote our names in cursive, curly, Nastaliq, clinging to each other tightly, infinitely, kissing shells, anemones, tips of coral reefs, stories the ships and starfish bring to the shores. The ocean polishes the corners of our names, gently strokes the forests within the velvet of letters, where metaphors rain, mingling with the green waters, bleaching our hearts of pain, of erased histories. Waves bow, holding the letters on foreheads, sail back, rise, add our names to the treasure that history forgets. We glisten under stars that lurk above waters, waiting forever for Layla to return Majnu, his original name. It has rained in Hyderabad, and suddenly it's very, very hot. And yes, Ashwini, I can see all the names here. Thanks to you. Yes, a lot of people are joining in. So I'm going to read a poem which is titled Ceramic Vases of Chunar. It is for a visually challenged friend. Her name is Jyotna Fanija, and she teaches at in Delhi University, and she's a poet herself. A very bubbly, chirpy girl, and one whose voice has smiles, and she radiates so much of beauty and energy. You feel life is so beautiful. So I sometimes wonder what colors can Jyotsna see? And through this poem I'm trying to explore that. Ceramic Vases of Chunar for Jyotsna Fanija. Ceramic vases of Chunar shaped the streets of my childhood. A kingdom of clay cups, hinged on a poem. The sleeping trees gift green shadows to puddles. Paper boats whisper forbidden hymns to the light confined in rainwater. Tiny vases on a reed mat pucker their lips to the sunlight, unwrap its 7 colors, and know that light cannot cross darkness, the black stars within. The gold of dawn covering the kingdom of darkness is a myth. Its denizens don't care to pick golden slivers. They have their legends safe, buried in onyx deep fossilized roses, more ancient than the dancing girl of Mohenjo-daro. The dark mouths of Chunar vases drink the day, the red clay in their bellies. Mughals crossing the Ganga and Satvahanas splashing the Godavari stay warm. Their kingdom now faded, glaze, passed from a potter's dreams to the jasmine fingers of Jyotsna, who strokes the curved shape, the tiny handles, the bosky feel. She puts her words inside, scoops the space. It is a cool shadow under the scent of kachnar trees. She pulls its yarns, sits and knits, sweet darkness. So I called Jyotsna the other day and I asked her, what have you been doing? And she said, I'm writing poems because I'm home and I can see a lot of things in my mind. Thank you, Ashwini. Chunar, you must be aware that it's known for those tiny vases and tiny crockery and children's playthings. And Jyotsna was born in a village which manufactures similar kind of toys and tiny crockery, and it's a village in Andhra Pradesh, and the name of her book is Ceramic Evenings. So somehow I found the connection when long back as a child I was visiting a village of UP and I found these beautiful stuff over there somebody was selling, and somehow these two images and Jyotsna's home, they came together and I found my poem. And yes, while we are all safe in this lockdown, we have friends all across the world and we are all in the same boat. So sometimes I look back at the world map and see what my friends and the strangers whom I have met in different buses, trains, roads, streets, what they may have been going through, how they are managing, and especially people, those who live alone and are on their own. Uh, of course, it's very important to stay safe, but it's very important to maintain that smile on your face, though not easy, but all of us trying to do that. So, talking about friends and strangers abroad, I would like to read a poem which I wrote in Finland when I had gone there for a fellowship, and it so happened that it was a very cold and stormy evening, and I was almost wet in the rain, and I was looking for a taxi, and there was none in sight. And I saw a young girl. It's not that I'm not young, of course. She was a teenager and she was sipping her coffee at a kiosk nearby. And I asked her, "Can you tell me the nearby taxi stand or the next route to tram? I would like to go home." And she said, "But how will you go?" I said, "What do you mean I'll walk?" She said, "Yes, that's perfect, but you will get wet and you're already wet and you will fall sick, and it's not a good thing to fall sick in Scandinavian country." So this girl, what she did, she gave me her umbrella and she said, "Please take it with you." I said, "Thank you very much, but I would like to return it." And then she says, "You don't have to return it. You're a guest in my country and I'll be very happy if you reach home safe. If you really want to return it to me, you can give this umbrella to somebody who is in the similar situation." Yes, Ashwini, I'll be reading the Gaya poem soon. Can I read this one first? This is called A Polka Dot Umbrella. And हाँ हाँ, हम भोजपुरी में भी बात करेंगे आपसे और हम उर्दू में भी बात करेंगे आपसे, ज़रूर बात करेंगे. तो बात करते हैं पोल्का डॉट अम्ब्रेला की, जो वेल्मा के लिए है. द स्ट्रेंजर हु गेव मी हर अम्ब्रेला ऑन अ रेनी इवनिंग इन हेलसिंकी. You, black rose, inverted in war with the sky, bloom above my body, my personal ceiling, answering Thor and wind. Behold each other against the war of water. Your thin handle shakes the liquid lines and spills the universe. Silver eclipse, cobblestone streets move with my boots, the divided history. Maple leaves draw sketches, wet, set on fire, enemy ally of water. You hold strong, pierce the wind, and sometimes try to fly, to answer the sky as a pointed question, as the proof of an existential error. तो अभी अश्विनी भाई की ख्वाहिश मैं पूरी करना चाहूँगी और इनकी जो पसंदीदा नज़म है, जो कि गया के ऊपर है और जहाँ मेरी पैदाइश हुई थी और अश्विनी भाई की भी हुई थी, मैं अभी उसको पढ़ना चाहूँगी. एंड द टाइटल ऑफ द पोम इज, लेट मी फाइंड इट फर्स्ट. Yes. The title of the poem is The Summer Solstice in the Town of Gaya. Ashwini, this is for you. History is a little girl here who documents people's hearts in her flower songs that glow alongside old cots, their chests open to the moonless dark, starlit sky, silent, broken into boxes of chipped poems. Lord Buddha still grows there in several bow trees, whose eyes peep from cement cracks, ancient balconies, and rusted cauldrons in King Ashoka's Maurya Ghat. The timber guarding the fragile bricks, the red confined in the walls, its blaze safe in the shelter of the Milky Way. The silver belt drops a few stars on Madhumalti flowers. The tender vine creeps on silhouettes which the moon has forsaken. They sit with dogs near the empty mosques, cooling their heels on stairs of green marble. They rip open the shrunken maps, where the Phalgu river silently takes Sita's curse, and Hind in its ocean sleep tosses this town of people trees, sesame sweets, and Ahilya's temples. In a corner like a paper ball, swept from monks' caves. Yellow windows from dark houses flicker with last Diwali's clay lamps. Oh, is it? Is it better now? Hello, Saurav. Am I audible enough? Is it better now? Okay, looks like I'll have to read the poem again. Oh my god. Beena ji cannot hear me. Ashwini, can you hear me? Everybody else, can you hear me? The poem is, I'm yet to finish reading the poem. Ashwini. My audio is to the full volume. Who else cannot hear me? Okay, all right. Okay, great. So I think मैं बीच में रुक गई थी, मैं ये नज़्म फिर से पढ़ती हूँ. Summer solstice in the town of Gaya. History is a little girl here who documents people's hearts in her flower songs that glow alongside old cots, their chests open to the moonless, dark, starlit sky, silent, broken into boxes of chipped poems. Lord Buddha still grows there in several bow trees, whose eyes peep from cement cracks, ancient balconies and rusted cauldrons in King Ashoka's Maurya Ghat, with timber guarding the fragile bricks, the red confined in the walls, its blaze safe in the shelter of the Milky Way. The silver belt drops a few stars on Madhumalti flowers. The tender vine creeps on silhouettes which the moon has forsaken. They sit with dogs near the empty mosques, cooling their heels on stairs of green marble. They rip open the shrunken maps, where the Phalgu river silently takes Sita's curse, and Hind in its ocean sleep tosses this town of people trees, sesame sweets, and Ahilya's temples. In a corner, like a paper ball swept from monks' caves, yellow windows from dark houses flicker with last Diwali's clay lamps, casting babies' faces into bronze that glow like fireflies above the rain puddles, and ask the silent wind to shake the charpoys, the paddy fields, the wood apples, squeeze the glitter from stars, summon Nalanda's mandarins and Prince Siddharth to the Vishnupad temple, and rewrite the old epics the world has wiped from its memory. Let the maps bloom with green rice shoots, sandalwood on forsaken areas haunted by jinns, and let an old fakir who has been standing on the blank paper of the moon for ages break into his songs, for someone to come and rewrite this town. So Ashwini, this was for you and I hope you're happy. अब कुछ उर्दू की नज़्म पढ़े. चूंकि अभी शाम का वक्त है तो मैं फैज़ अहमद फैज़ साहब, जो कि बहुत बड़ा नाम है, उनकी नज़्म मैं पढ़ना चाहूँगी। एंड नज़्म का उन्वान है शाम। ओके, एवरीबडी कैन हियर मी, दैट्स गुड, दैट्स रियली गुड। थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच। तो ये मैं पढ़ने जा रही हूँ फैज़ अहमद फैज़ साहब की नज़्म शाम। इस तरह है कि हर एक पेड़ कोई मंदिर है, कोई उजड़ा हुआ बेनूर पुराना मंदिर ढूंढता है जो खराबी के बहाने कब से। चाक हर बाम एक दर कदमे आखिर है, आसमां कोई पुरोहित है जो हर बाम तले जिस्म पे राख मले, माथे पे सिंदूर मले सर नगू बैठा है चुपचाप न जाने कब से। इस तरह है कि पसे पर्दा कोई साहिर है जिसने आफाक पे फैलाया है यूं सहर का दामने वक्त से पेवस्त है यूं दामने शाम। अब कभी शाम बुझेगी न अंधेरा होगा, अब कभी रात ढलेगी न सवेरा होगा। आसमां इसलिए है कि ए जादू टूटे, चुप की जंजीर कटे वक्त का दामन छूटे। दे कोई शंख दहाई, कोई पायल बोले, कोई बुत जागे, कोई सांवली घूंघट खोले। कितनी खूबसूरत इमेजेस है। अश्विनी कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? सरबजीत, अबाउट दिस इमेज बाय फैज। ऑफ कोर्स फैज इज अ लेजेंड, बट स्टिल। And anybody else on this Nazm of Faz? All right, अब चूंकि इस लॉकडाउन में बहुत सारे लोग अभी जो हैं, बहुतों को नींद नहीं आ रही, या फिर जो रात में जागते थे, people who used to keep late hours, they are finding it difficult to fall asleep. And of course, me, because I also keep late hours and I come back from work at around 11:30 in the night. And media being essential service, you have to go on and the show must go on. So I wrote this nazm. It's on insomnia and it's in Hindustani. And मैंने नज़्म का उन्वान दिया है बेख्वाबी। बेख्वाबी means insomnia in Urdu. Hello Zahid bhai, welcome. बेख्वाबी। कांच की शिकस्त शोलों में नहीं, आंख में मचलते दरिया में है। जाने कब पतवा हुए बेल की झालर गिरी, दरीचे खुलते गए, गलीचे बिछते गए। नीम ख्वाबी के आलम में अब भी थे गुलची। गुलची मीन्स द वन हु प्लक्स फ्लावर्स। रुखे उरूसी से सहरा खुलते गए, फेस ऑफ अ ब्राइड। नम शाखों पे टके चेहरे, शैम्पेन में कैद शोपें। शगुफों में घुलते गए, कुछ खाक में मिलते गए। जब किया हो खुद खड़ा जिंदा, तो फिर हाथ में परचम क्या, लबों पे तबस्सुम क्या। टैरों की मल्लिका ने उस चौखट पे प्याले तोड़े हैं, जहां जमीनों ने अपने लिबासे रक्स छोड़े हैं। लिबासे रक्स मीन्स क्लोथ्स फॉर डांसिंग, ब्यूटीफुल इवनिंग गाउन्स फॉर डांसिंग। जरा इस पहर करवट तो लेके देख, कैसियोपिया भी कहीं पहलू बदलती होगी। यस, दिस लॉकडाउन जी अभी पढ़ा मैंने हिंदुस्तानी में, दोबारा पढ़ूं? दोबारा पढ़ूं? शुक्रिया, शुक्रिया रजत। Am I audible enough? मुझे पता नहीं क्यों लग रहा है बहुत सारे लोग मुझे सुन नहीं पा रहे हैं। अच्छा, चूंकि अश्विनी भाई मुझे उर्दू में और पढ़ने के लिए कह रहे हैं, तो मैंने एक नज़म लिखी थी, शाहीन बाग की औरतों के नाम। ऑफ कोर्स अभी सूरत हाल बहुत दूसरी है, बट कुछ चीज़ें जो हैं वो जहाँ की वहीं हैं। हेलो सुहेत। शाहीन बाग की औरतों के नाम, रात एक बर्फ की सलीब है, ये उन औरतों की आंखों में कोहरा बनकर उतरती है जो शीरखार बच्चों को सीने से लिपटाए हुए चिमटाए हुए अपनी उंगलियों से उस आसमां को हिलाती हैं जहां शायद खुदा सो रहा है, या शायद हर एक दिल में उस नौजायद बच्चे की तरह रो रहा है। उन गलियों में, उन सड़कों पे जहां सब कुछ धुआं धुआं है, मकानों से खून उबलता है और मकीनों के जिस्म जलते हैं। किताबों से तारीख को दिल्ली में बैठा दीमक चाट रहा है। दिलों को, जमीनों को, मकीनों को खुदा के नाम पे बांट रहा है और भूल बैठा है कि हर एक दिल में बैठा बुत वही खुदा है जिसकी परछाई मैं भी हूं, तुम भी हो और वो भी है। वो एक नमरूद जो खुदा बन बैठा है, रियाया की रगों में जहर घोल रहा है, हजारों बरस की जमी को टुकड़ों में तोल रहा है। मगर इसी नगर में जहां सड़कों पे आग के दरिया रवा हैं, जिस्म जिंदा हैं, जहां ज़बां पे शबनम झुलसती है और सांसों में कुहासा घुलता है, वो चादरों में लिपटी औरतें अपने लहू में वजू करती हैं, कोहरे में लिपटे बच्चों के लिए आसानियों का सामान करती हैं। अगले पहर गर्देर तक रोशनी हो, समझना सूरज इनके ही दामन से तुलू हुआ होगा। ये कौन है तुम ये जान लेना, एक किरण उनसे तुम भी मांग लेना। जी क्या कहें, उर्दू की फरमाइश हुई थी तो मैंने सोचा कि ये पढ़ डालूं। और अभी शाम गहरी हो रही है, बारिश हुई है, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ रेन बट स्टिल देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ डस्ट अराउंड। वी नीड एटलीस्ट 2-3 hours ऑफ रेन। एंड डस्ट से मुझे याद आया, आई वुड लाइक टू रीड अ पोम बाय Nancy Gaffild, who is a brilliant poet and a professor at the University of Kent. I got to meet her when I was there during this time only the last year. How 1 year has passed. And here I have her book with me. This is called Continental Drift. Dust. It begins in the house of bad moods. It begins again as memory. It begins as a stable structure in the rain. Rainbows of oil, certain themes are incurable. Who are you in your prospect of puddles? Nothing stays in its proper place. Unsettled landscape. Nuclear, sublime. If you don't want to know, look away now. I really like the way she has used unsettled landscape. Any comments on this poem? Anybody? Okay. And that gives me a chance to read another favorite poet's work of mine, Kathleen Jamie. इनसे मुलाकात तो नहीं हो पाई बट इनका कलाम बेहद खूबसूरत है, and I got this copy from Scottish Poetry Library, and the name of the collection is The Tree House. And I really love this poem. In fact, all these poems, and I think everybody should have a copy of this. It's so beautiful. Not because I'm holding it. All right, Ashwini bhai, padhti hu. Ye wali nazm padh lun pehle. It's called Daisies. We are flowers of the common. Sword that much we understand. Of everything else, we are innocent. No creator laid down such terms for our pleasant lives. It's just our nature. Were we not so, we wouldn't be daisies, closing our lashes at the first suggestion of Venus. By then, we are near exhausted. Evening means sleep. And surely it's better to renew ourselves than die of all that openness. But die we will, innocent or know of how night spills above our garden. Twins glittering there for each of us, die never knowing what we miss. It's beautiful. It's very lovely. I'll read another one from this book. Oh, already it's 6 baj chuke hain. I think I just started. And I wanted to read a very small Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Beena ji. I wanted to read from the book of Imtiaz Dharkar, Luck is the Hook. It was a wonderful time I spent with her over breakfast, and reading these tiny poems in the book is quite a pleasure. For example, this is a three-liner, and the title of the poem from this book, it's called Long. Streets become lochs in lamplight. Under the bare trees, reflections, long as their kiss. This is called the beauty of brevity. There's another one, again a three-liner. Made, unmade.